Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to the podcast for today. This is episode 37. I'm Otto, and this is Spoon over here. He's in a new setup because of his travel to school. Which your travel was difficult. Your travel was difficult, sir.
Yeah, it was a rough couple of days, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I only heard beforehand that you'd gotten stuck due to a lack of a COVID test, and then you got stuck for a few more days. Did you get like a? I assume they gave you a hotel, right?
No, I had to pay for it.
Oh, you had to pay for it. I see. So you had to pay for the hotel and everything else. That sucks, man. That really sucks. I didn't even think about the hotel side of it. How you basically had to pay for your own hotel there. That's really rough. So sorry, I'm moving my camera a little. Okay. Well, we don't have much to discuss today. Light on game news. The only game news that we found was Humankind, Pokemon Unite, and more Blizzard stuff. Blizzard seems to be the talk of gaming right now.
Hmm.
I even saw another thing come out regarding a possible second lawsuit. I just saw it today, so I haven't been able to take a look further into it. But um, and then also Blizzard's anti-union law firm they're trying to bust up potential unions that could occur. I'd say I'm just not surprised at all that that's kind of stuff is happening. So, um, why don't we actually start with Blizzard today, Spoon? Let's just go ahead and pass through the intro. Let's just skip over the intro. We'll do all that stuff at the end today. Um, let's just start with Blizzard because there's still more stuff with Blizzard that we need to talk about. Let me go ahead and fire it over to my other screen, assuming it's set up for this. Perfect. So there's supposed to be like a picture here or something, and it's just not there. But um, yesterday, it was reported that the president of Blizzard, J. Allen Brack, has decided to step down. This is after the lawsuit, which was just widespread discrimination, harassment for women of color, things like that, throughout Activision Blizzard. And he will be replaced by co-leaders Jen O'Neill and Mike Ybarra. I hope I said that last name correct. And it talks about their background. So O'Neill previously headed Vicarious Visions, which I've heard of, but I don't remember what they've been doing. But the name is very familiar now that I'm thinking about it. What has Vicarious Visions done recently?
Yeah, that name sounds familiar to me as well, but I don't remember what they make.
It's really familiar to me. Vicarious Visions.
Oh, they make they're owned by like
They're owned by
Activision.
Activision. Okay, so
Like the
it's the
remakes.
remakes of Crash and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were most recently they did those remakes. That's right. Why gosh. Can't believe I know we had talked about it too. Just couldn't
Yeah.
remember.
And they were, I guess, there was a studio behind Skylanders, which was huge for a little while
Yep.
there. But yeah.
And Ybarra, just to finish this out, joined from Xbox in 2019. So J. Allen Brack has been president of Blizzard for a few years now. I don't actually remember how long he's been with the company, but he hasn't been president of the company for I don't think that long, actually. So
Yeah, I don't remember the exact time frame on that one either, but
so Spoon.
I mean, this is not that surprising of news, after this big lawsuit. I'm kind of surprised it took this long because it's been like a week or two since that broke
Right.
the lawsuit. but yeah, heads are starting to roll at Blizzard. Like people aren't getting fired, but they're stepping down basically.
Yeah.
I saw another one the other day that the I think the lead of like global HR for Activision Blizzard either was fired or stepped down as well.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Good.
because
Because
you
yeah,
know HR didn't do shit in this scenario.
HR dropped the ball.
Yeah, I mean, just continuation of this story. We kind of went over most of it last week. Again, not that surprising that people are starting to lose their jobs or just quit over it because it's just such a bad look. And people in leadership positions often take the fall for these kinds of things because, well, they're supposed to be the face and leaders of the company, and when things go exceptionally poorly, like they did in this case, it's
Yeah.
kind of like, well, if you knew it was going on, you should have done something, and if you didn't know it was going on, well, you're a terrible leader, and you should have known it was going
Right.
on.
I mean,
You're not paying enough attention, basically. So
yeah, something as big as this should have been seen before an actual investigation completed. The fact that the investigation completed and nothing appeared to have really changed or had been fully addressed, and then a lawsuit emerged from that. I mean, that's a leadership issue. It all trickles down. Um, Jay Allen Brack and all those people should be setting the standard. The problem is they just don't. They set bad standards. So it is. I mean, it is their fault, and that all comes down also to the people that hired them. The board hires them. Those executives in particular are hired by a board. It's their fault. Um, there. I mean, like really, it's like just a whole. It all trickles down, and while the people that were causing the actual trouble are at fault and should be punished, people in positions where there are oversight, when you're not overseeing these problems, or you are and not doing anything about it, it is also your fault because you had an opportunity to do something and you didn't.
yeah,
So,
if somebody in your company is doing something wrong, they need to be held accountable, and
right.
it's the people above them. Well, HR should be the first people that hold them accountable, but apparently, they were good friends with HR, so they didn't do anything.
Yeah, of course not.
And if HR is not going to do anything, then the higher leadership positions like Jay Allen Brack and others need to be holding people accountable, and they sure didn't in this case.
No,
So
not at all. And I just want to continue. It's ironic that I a company like Blizzard, all their games, they talk about being inclusive in their games and in their communities, but the company itself is completely exclusive. It's
yep,
like the silliest thing. Where that's why I never get it when you're like, oh, we're an inclusive. We make games that are inclusive and our community is inclusive, and then it comes out where they're like being sexist or there's like harassment going on. It's like the biggest or what are you doing type of moment. Like you can't say you're for these things and then not even be them walking into the office every day. That you can't do that.
yeah,
And
and
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, Jay Allen Brack for me has, I don't know, he's never done it for me. Whenever I've seen him, you know, speak at the openings for BlizzCon or whatever, I just always felt like his speeches felt very just like PR speech
They
basically,
are.
just too much PR talk, not enough like from the heart type thing. And he always, he always wore um like pride flag, and he seems to be at least pretty into, at least from my what I've seen from his speeches, into the LGBTQ community. Um, so yeah, but that inclusiveness that he supposedly has and has represented in some of his speeches certainly has not transferred into the company culture. So
Not at all. And that's why I said again, like, this is why, as a company, you need to get your house in order. Now, I mean, for Activision, there was no incentive for them to get their house in order. Actually, there wasn't. Like, people were still buying their games, and they're still gonna buy. People are still gonna continue to buy their games, and they're still gonna
Yeah.
play them regardless of what's going on. Which, to each your own. You can decide if you want to do that or not, or you can figure out if you have to, if it's like a job for you. You know, if you have to do it, you have to do it. Fine. You can decide for yourself if that's what you want. Um, but Activision and like certain other companies, there's no reason for them to get their house in order until actual like lawsuits occur. Then they're like, oh well, now we actually have to. It,
Now
it's
we have to care.
it's a problem, and I hate to say this. Riot did this, when Riot was having their issues. It's a problem when you are being reactive and not being proactive.
Yeah.
The companies seem to be more reactive with internal issues than proactive, and that's like the dumbest shit you'll ever see. And it's kind of true with all the stuff you see. All these people are like, we're gonna only react when it finally comes out that there is misconduct of some kind. It doesn't matter what kind. Now we're gonna react to it, and we're gonna put together like a diversity committee. We're gonna make a position in the company called the diversity position, which is just like, okay, but you shouldn't be reacting. You should be proactive. But like, they don't do that. They're
People are selfish and short-sighted. They see these issues and either they don't care or I don't know. They just
It's not a
like
priority for them.
it doesn't affect our stock price or our shareholders, so we don't care.
For certain
Uh,
people, that's their thought process. You know, you want to be proactive so that you can actually hire the best people. I mean, Blizzard could always hire the best people before because they made the best games that the community loved. So like anybody would want to work for Blizzard. At this point now I'd be curious to hear what people think, and that becomes the fundamental issue for Blizzard too. That's why you should be proactive, is all these companies, they're constantly getting the best talent and good like younger out of college talent because they're big names. People want to step in and contribute, get their feet under them and go. But this is where you can't be reactive, because now it's like, I'd be curious to hear how many people are actually still interested in working at Blizzard. It's like, are you still interested? Even with everything that's going on? And that also is an issue. So,
yeah.
I mean, I hope people think twice about working at places like Blizzard. I
Yeah.
do.
I mean, yeah, maybe it's possible it's going to be harder for them to attract like top talent anymore, basically, to work there.
Or they're going to
Like,
actually have to pay people like their top talent
yeah,
now,
that's
because
true.
before they haven't. From what we've seen in articles, they would like underpay
Yeah,
people. They're like, oh, you're working at Blizzard, we're going to underpay you because we're Blizzard. We can do that. But now, like,
yeah,
how are you going to do that now? So that's what I hope happens. I hope that Blizzard and Activision actually have to be proactive, actually have to pay people what they're supposed to be owed, pay all the people that were victims, and get their heads out of their asses and maybe look off the Google Finance for about 5 minutes and back into your own office.
yeah,
So,
yeah. What I was saying,
no, go ahead.
to finish my thought from earlier about being short-sighted is like they don't. Again, they see these issues and they don't care about it in the moment, and they care about it down the line when it affects their stock price or their shareholder. But they don't think about it when they could have done something about it beforehand. Like, oh, this maybe down the line, if it gets bad enough, could affect those kinds of things. They don't think about it, and then they get clapped with
Yeah,
a
they get
lawsuit.
bopped. You get
So
bopped. I mean, you get bopped, and they deserve it. And you deserve to be bopped when the when your laser focus is only on the bottom line. Which, I mean, every company that's a for profit company is going to have that be a focus. We all know that. But there are also important things to be monitoring, because your company has people, and you got to take care of them. You can't you can't expect them to walk into their office and be treated like shit and expect them to be 100% productive. That
yep,
doesn't work like that. If they're being harassed for an entire day, which, by the way, that would affect the bottom line. So that's why you should care about it. If they're
Yep.
being harassed every day, they're not going to want to work. And that's a problem for you, because then they're going to start having problems. And then, you know, you can make excuses, but then these investigations occur and they discover, hey, your entire company is like this. So, I mean, some companies are better at it than others, is what I'll say. Some companies
Yep.
actually are better at either masking it, or they do a better job of just making sure that people are taken care of. Google is a good example of this. Obviously, I don't walk into Google every day and know what's going on, but they take care of their employees like better than anybody on the planet. The number of amenities at the Google campus is extravagant and new, and just like out of this world. So I mean, that's one way. I'm not saying Activision doesn't necessarily do that, but if you want your people to do good work, you got to treat them like people to some extent and give them things that they'll they'll want to go to work with. You can't just treat them like, oh, you're an animal. Hi, animal. Let me go around your cubicles while drinking and say you're super hot.
Hmm.
Which, by the way, is the least attractive thing you could do. So I don't know the thought process there too. Um, so anyway, I mean, we rag on Activision Blizzard and EA and stuff, and Activision Blizzard, they're a scummy company. It proves us right to some extent, I suppose, that we're constantly ragging on them for being shitty. And it turns out they're shitty,
Yep.
and that's. I mean, it's frustrating. So, anything else on Blizzard Spoon?
Nope, I don't think so. Turns out that capitalism is not always the best.
Sometimes it's not always the best. Well, it depends. Again, it depends on where you're looking. If you're if you work at Google and you're satisfied with just going in every day and getting breakfast, lunch, and dinner for free, and being able to just walk to the gym on the Google campus and then go swimming, capitalism works well for you there, because you got all those things, because certain markets you're in your favor. However, if you're if you're a woman of color walking into Activision's office, you probably have a different interpretation of capitalism. It's probably what's happening. So it's but yeah, I mean, I think the problems end up happening when you stop treating people like people and you start considering them less than that, and that's what Activision did. So, but like I said,
Hmm.
I don't think every company's like that, but there's enough where it's problematic, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay, Humankind. I'll be honest with you, Spoon. I didn't take one look at this, so you're gonna have to champion this. Can I get rid of this sidebar thing though? How do I get rid of this sidebar? Oh, close sidebar. There we go. Okay. Yep. Sure. Why not? Here. Have my cookies. Okay. So this is a Humankind progress report, and they also announced they're delaying the Mac version. What's the progress report, Spoon? Can you summarize for us, if possible?
Um, I mean, I think we just read it. We'll pretty much summarize it. But yeah, they're telling us what they've been working on for the past month or so since the closed beta. I think we mentioned maybe last week or recently that
Quiet.
they kind of been yeah, they've been very quiet since
Mm,
the closed beta ended, and I have a feeling that there are probably crunching and working very hard to get this game out. It comes out in less than 2 weeks now. It comes out 2 weeks from yesterday, so it's 13 days.
so
Um,
the 17th?
the 17th of August.
Correct.
And yeah, they're just giving us a progress update here on what changes they have been working on
Sure.
and will be implemented into the final game when it comes out.
Sure.
So a lot of them are balanced things that we've talked about in the past when we played the game, like the era stars and the science.
Sure.
That seems to be one of the big ones. They're adding some new religion tenets and making them a little less like blanket bonus, and you know they're a lot of the statements they're making are very vague. We don't exactly
Sure.
know what changes they're making, so we won't be able to say whether their changes were good or effective or not until the game comes out. Changes some civics and ideologies to engage without losing stability. So that's good because, as I mentioned in the closed beta, stability, they nerfed stability really hard. It was kind of a pain to keep up with.
Sure.
So I hope there are more changes to stability other than this from the closed beta because I thought it was just brutal in the beta, but we'll see. New abilities to offer a different combat experience for gunpowder warfare. That seems good because in the later areas, like the gunpowder units were like melee unit. I mean, it makes sense when like guns happen, like melee units aren't really a thing anymore. But
Mm,
the gun units are just like super overpowered, and you know, they're a ranged unit, but they don't take penalties when you attack them in close range.
okay.
And so they're altering this in some way. I guess they're putting some new like abilities on the units so they act differently from others.
Sure.
So we'll see how that works out.
Sure.
They're adding a pollution system to the game for Era 5 and 6, basically. The end of Era 5, it'll happen, so that makes sense. Era 5 is the industrial era, so that's when like
Right.
pollution would start to be a thing. Um, which is interesting to see them like adding an entirely new mechanic into the game.
I'm
Like,
I'm not excited about that. I don't think they should add anything. No.
I mean,
I'm not excited about them adding stuff to like saying they are adding stuff 3 week, 2 to 3 weeks before a release. That's you got other problems. Don't add too much.
yeah, I mean, we'll see. Again, if it comes out and it works and I think the idea is cool. I think it makes sense, but yeah, I kind of agree with you. It's like, well, let's worry about everything else before we
Right.
put in
That's
another system into the game,
yeah,
basically.
yeah. I'm like, if you're gonna add a system, your game's not even out yet. I mean, it's not in an early access state where it's out there and people are playing it consistently, like they can play it every day. Um, this isn't out. It's not in beta right now anymore. There's no early access, and you're 2.5 weeks, from this post, 2 weeks, 2 weeks from a release, and you're talking about adding systems. Uh, You're Yeah, I mean, if it's a very simple system, that's fine. But I don't know how simple pollution's going to be. I don't know how simple that sounds. It, you shouldn't you shouldn't be in the stage of adding stuff. I feel like you're in cleanup stage and balance stage. I don't know why adding stuff is a priority here. You can add something a month after release, but maybe
I
they
mean, yeah,
expect a bunch of bugs and they
I
want
mean,
to focus on that. I don't know.
maybe it was something they always had intended to implement, like in the end of Era 5 and 6, and since in the closed beta they only got to like you
Yeah,
didn't
you're
get
right.
into Era 6 that like they just weren't ready to put it in yet at that point. So like, and yeah, I agree with what goes to saying this game is not going to be balanced right when it comes out. I hope it's balanced decently at least so that it's like playable. Um, I mean, it's going to be playable
It's gonna be
regardless, but
playable no matter
it's
what.
like fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. Whatever the balance state is, that it's like fun to play, as opposed to like annoying. Again, I found some of the balance changes they made in the closed beta were annoying. It just made the game kind of unfun to play. Like with stability, it was like,
Right.
well, every time I build a freaking district, I now have to build a different district to fix my stability because it's just a mess.
Yeah.
Um, um, and then diplomacy, they're working on, you know, making diplomacy a little bit better. New interactions, new treaties, clearer UI. So that's good. Again, I think the diplomacy system in this game, I think I like it generally because you're forced a little more to interact with it. Like in Civ, you can kind of just ignore diplomacy if you want to. In this game, you can't really ignore diplomacy. So I kind of like that they force you to interact with it a little bit. It makes sense, and
Mm.
I don't know, I didn't mind it, but yeah, it had some issues. So they're working on that. Better description for civics, tutorial, and tutorials, which makes sense. You need tutorials for
Yep.
this type of game. and then they're changing the AI and making sure the difficulty settings are balanced.
Okay, the post was much shorter than thought, and then Mac version got postponed a few weeks, postponed a month. Still
Yeah,
having some issues with configurations and multiplayer, um, which is interesting. So the Mac version releases September 17th, if that's month, if that like full month is true. Um, okay, I don't know. I mean, it's we'll see on this 2 weeks, so we'll see. Hopefully, it's just fun. It just needs to be fun, and they can balance it out as they go. But I just hope it's fun. Otherwise,
yeah,
that would suck if it wasn't like if it was balanced such a way where it just wasn't fun. Then that I mean, look, if it's gonna be unbalanced, make it fun unbalanced
yeah. Again, if it's gonna be unbalanced, just make everything like OP and broken
and
so
just
that
super fun.
it's
Yeah,
fun at least. So just like go in and destroy.
yeah, it's at least
Yeah,
enjoyable. It's like okay, I'm having fun. I'm at least having fun. Like I know there's problems, but I'm having fun. Um, but if it's like you said with the stability issue in closed beta, that doesn't sound fun, and you'll probably get turned off pretty quickly by that kind of balance. So
yep,
let's hope that's not the case. That will be the time when I'm home and I no longer have school for a month. So I'm happy to join you for a little bit of humankind experimentation, and we um we can maybe spend some time doing that. Uh, like that Tuesday, obviously when it releases, but possibly Wednesday as well. So that
yeah.
I think that would be fun to do. Just like have a little bit of fun, see how the game plays.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, as I said, I've been looking forward to this game for a while. I've liked for the most part what I've played in the open devs, the closed beta. Again, the closed beta, I didn't quite like the way they balanced it in the closed beta, but
Sure,
like the game, it was still the same
it's
game, and
and
it's
it's a
fun.
beta. It's a beta. If there's a screw up in a beta, you just say okay, there's a screw up here. Let's fix that. I mean, it's not like an act like it wasn't. It's not like it's fully released. So a screw up in a beta is better than a screw up on release here because at least you may have some time to fix it proper.
Yeah, I mean, from these notes, I mean, it mostly seems like most of what they've been working on is balance. The only like thing that was like, I don't know about this was the adding the pollution
Yeah.
system, which people are like, I don't know about
If
that,
it's
but
so late in the game, maybe it's like kind of like a minor thing. Maybe it's a minor system that won't like actually be. Oh, we have to think about this system every turn. Maybe it's something like kind of comes up here and there, and you got to deal with it. And either you can increase your carbon footprint or not. And if you have a higher carbon footprint, maybe you get like some grievances. I don't know. That could be interesting.
yeah, probably affecting the diplomatic game or like
Exactly.
maybe yeah, maybe if you have like a high carbon footprint or something in your empire, like it costs more, like you get more upkeep, like it
Right.
becomes expensive for you. You take like gold penalties, like it costs a lot of upkeep to
Right.
keep it going, something like that.
Which
So
I think makes sense if you're churning out more of the um, unenvironment,
yeah, the fossil fuels
fossil
and
fuels,
yeah,
um, all that stuff that harms the environment. Maybe you take a penalty for that. Incentivizes people to possibly go with some kind of renewable resource in game.
I I doubt the system is going to be as advanced as the one in Civ 6, where in the second expansion for Civ 6, where like you start to get like sea level rise and like
Yeah,
natural disasters. Like I don't think it's going to be that complex. I think it's going to be a little more baseline than that. There'll be like certain buildings and like units that like cause carbon emissions and like
sure.
that'll affect the I'm not sure in what way that'll affect the game, but we said, maybe it's affected in some sort of diplomacy system that
Yeah,
can, that affects your income in some way, or I'm not
which
quite
I think
sure,
would be
but
cool. I think that would be cool. And there's like maybe cultures that benefit from renewable resource or using the fossil fuel energies. That'd be cool. That would be a cool system.
yeah,
Be interesting because I can see a few possible groups going through more of an environmentally friendly
yeah.
energy.
So yeah, I mean, other than that, they're mostly looking on, you know, on balance and just QOL type stuff, making the tooltips a little more
Right.
informative.
Sure.
making diplomacy better, making religion better, um, just balancing. Again, my biggest problem of the game with the game since the open devs was that like the balance between the era stars and the science, and like the
Sure.
eras were progressing way too quickly. So I hope they get that either right or close to right for release, because when you're like an era or an era and a half ahead in progress compared to science, it just, if you're like in um you're in early modern era and you're still researching, like you're at like the end of the classical era at the tech trees. Like you haven't even gotten into medieval era in the tech tree, and you're like in early modern era in terms of like your
Yeah.
era progress. So
Yeah.
that's kind of weird, and I hope they fix that and make it better.
That would be nice. That'd be nice.
You know what I just thought of, which I think would be an interesting thing for that,
Go ahead.
is like if you maybe you should just get like a flat science bonus or a percentage science bonus if you're like an air if you're in the era ahead of what you are teching. You just get a science bonus for like the previous era, because technically your culture is beyond that
Yeah,
era.
no,
Like
you
they,
should. You
they could do
should.
something like that. It's like, hey, our culture has advanced beyond this era. We should get like, it should be faster to research texts from like previous
Right.
eras, basically.
Yeah, no, I mean that would make sense. That would make
That,
sense.
that
Yeah. Most of your culture's ahead. You'd probably be able to figure out um, technologies from previous eras more quickly. It makes sense. It does make sense.
yeah, that was just a thought that popped into my head right there for
Yeah, no,
a way a way they could like adjust that a little bit.
yeah, they could do that. I mean, hopefully they'll have some fix, but we'll see. We'll see on that. Okay. Any other stuff on humankind, Spoon?
Nope.
Okie
Looking
dokie.
forward looking forward to coming out. That's it.
Cool. Okay, Pokemon Unite game update. Wow, a pretty comprehensive character patch notes here. Uh, Full disclaimer, I haven't played this game in almost a week, and probably won't play it that much at all, but it seems like the ones that I want to look at here. Looks like Charizard just got a buff across the board.
Yep.
Um,
Charizard was buffed across the board,
Talonflame also got a buff across the board,
which it needed.
which it's a speedster, by the way, so let's make those better. That's a
I
great
mean,
idea. God, what a good
Talonflame
idea.
was Talonflame was the worst one by far. Like you never picked Talonflame because Talonflame was just bad. Like
Yeah.
compared to the other
Okay.
ones.
Let's look at these other ones though. I Yeah, but okay. It's a bit toxic to have a fast jungler just completely jump on you for just like just getting 100. I've already talked about it. 125. 100 to 25 is not a fun mechanic. Why is it in the game? Venusaur looks like got like some buffs.
Yep.
Um,
Which Venusaur also needed. I
yeah,
think
Venusaur seemed bad when I was
Venusaur's
playing.
one of the worst characters in the game, in my opinion. It's just bad.
Let me zoom in because I don't think. Okay. Uh, Absol buffs. Okay, I thought Absol was
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, Absol seems pretty good in the
Is there
right
a
hands.
nerf in here? Like, is there any nerf?
I think there's some down the line. Yeah.
My God. Okay,
El, El,
Wigglytuff looks like increases. Looks like buffs.
yeah. I mean, Wigglytuff was pretty bad too.
Yeah.
Buffed.
Eldegoss. Wow, a nerf. Holy
Yeah,
crap.
Eldegoss kind of got slammed. I don't know.
An actual nerf. How Cinderace stats increase for or decrease for attack, Blaze Kick decrease. Okay, so Cinderace got a nerf. Damage dealt increase for Shadow Ball. Hex move downgrade. Dream Eater move downgrade. Or move upgrade. I don't know what this means. Move downgrade for Hex.
Yeah, it's a little too vague. Like I wish they would say what they actually did
What
to
the
the
frick
move.
does this
But
mean? Like I don't know what that means though. What move downgrade? Is it like it's not going down like is it like oh it's changing a tier or something? I don't know what that.
I think they're changing the effect in some way. Maybe it means like because when they're changing the damage, they said they're changing the damage. So obviously, I don't think they're changing the damage on it, but
This is
maybe they're making
go
it's too
ahead.
vague. It's too vague,
This
but
is one of
like
the worst patch notes I've ever read in my life. It's Papega. This is the worst patch notes I've ever read in my life
you haven't seen
by
the patch
far.
notes. You haven't seen the patch notes for some of the Kingdom Hearts when they update the Kingdom
I
Hearts games. It just says like various fixes have
yeah,
been implemented.
and
It's
I
like
haven't seen
thanks,
it, so it's not the worst for me.
thanks.
This is
Oh
the
shit.
worst. These are the worst patch notes I've ever read. In HOTS, as an example, when there's a move downgrade or a tier change on an ability, or even like an attack or health boost, they give percentages. And they say, okay, it's moving from 1.5 to 2%. You can actually do the math in your head. These patch notes just say basic attack, bug fixes. What the fuck bugs were there? What bug fix? Damage dealt to opposing Pokemon decreased. How much? 1%? 20%? 1,000,000%? What is this? This is the worst patch notes I've ever read. This is terrible. This sucks. It feels like somebody who didn't know what they were doing wrote this in about 5 minutes. And it's like, yeah, fuck it. I don't care. Who did? Why? Why would you do this? There's nothing. There's no information in here that's particularly helpful besides just increase or decrease. It sucks. This is the worst. And I don't know. I have nothing to say. This is. I don't even want to read the rest of this. You read it. I don't want to read this. This is making me angry. Okay. What else jumped out at you besides what we got to Gengar? Gengar looks like he got a nerf. Who else got nerfed or buffed in here besides that? That was a big deal.
It's not like the rare got nerfed very much. They just made Wild Charge better, so I guess people want to take that over Discharge. That doesn't make sense, so that's stupid. Um,
Uh,
oh, they did nerf his ult a little bit, which is good because his ult was pretty stupid.
oh, yep.
Um,
Cramorant, Whirlpool decreased. Cramorant's Whirlpool was pretty good, actually, from what I remember. I used Cramorant like a couple times. The Whirlpool was pretty good. Um, I don't recall taking Dive at all, so can't say anything. Was Machamp any good?
Machamp seems okay from what I've played
Okay.
and seen. Again, I guess they're some of these changes are like I'm pretty sure these are just like the two picks on I don't remember which ability is, but on one of his abilities, so they're trying to de-incentivize cross chop and they're trying to make cross chop a little worse and close combat a little better so that maybe it's actually a choice as opposed to you just take one or the take
Right.
one. Um
I mean, yeah, you just got to experiment. I wish I knew how much it got decreased or increased because maybe cross chop is still more usable than close combat. But who you never know because there's no percentages or any numbers. So who cares, right? Just, why would you need that? Of course you don't need it. Bug fixes. Oh my god. Can you actually say what the bug fix is? Oh my god. Yeah, I can't look at this anymore. Okay, Spoon, you go ahead. I can't look at this. This is the worst patch notes I've ever seen in my life. It's so bad.
yeah, I mean, as I said, it's not the worst patch notes I've seen in my life because again, I've seen the Kingdom Hearts patch when they patch Kingdom Hearts, it's just like various fixes have been implemented. Thanks. I appreciate you telling me what you fixed.
It's just like it's it's not actually hard to say, oh, we made a change and Cinderace's auto attacks now do 50 damage instead of 60. You know, it's not that hard to say that. It's
Yeah.
really not. And
And
then you can
yeah,
actually do the math in your head and say, oh,
and
okay.
I do think it's especially important in competitive games like this, especially with buffs and nerfs, to tell people like how much they actually changed it, and also so when people go to test it, like they can see how much it affects. It's like you pretty much just have to test it now and see like how much did they change it? Is this character bad now? Are they good? Did the change work? I mean, I agree with you. Again, especially for competitive games, you would like to know like what the changes actually are to see how the characters are actually effective instead of like damage increase, damage decrease, move upgrade, move down. Like, what does move
I
upgrade or
don't know.
move downgrade mean? That to me for Gengar that means that like the res. I hope what they changed is that like the resets don't they aren't as fast
That would be
basically on
nice.
Hex. That it's like 2 or 3 seconds instead of like 1 second cooldown when he
Right.
hits the thing. Um,
That'd be nice to know. If only they could. If only somebody could have written that somewhere, possibly in a comprehensive list of other things, discussing the changes they made to the character in full detail. But instead, let's just give them a bullet that says upgrade or downgrade. Because adding in a few extra words, somebody's got to get paid for that. You got to pay that person an extra dollar, I'm sure, to add in a couple words. Just say move downgraded, cooldown change from 1 second to 2 seconds. Wow. It's but Spoon, the problem is that's hard to do. For example, if I go on my keyboard right now and type that, I got to make a lot of effort for that, and that effort's unnecessary. That we can't do that. It's too much effort for me to do it, to be honest.
much effort for you to type like 4 words instead of 3 words.
Honestly, I'm leaning back in my chair and I'm thinking it's too much effort now to lean forward and get on my mouse and actually move the cursor. I think it's a little bit too challenging now.
The company isn't called Tencent for nothing.
10 cents a work. There you go. Wow. Beautiful. This I I have no comment. All the nerfs and buffs, I have no comment because I have no idea what the fucking numbers are. So I have no comment. You can actually nerf a character and it still has the build is still viable. The same build can still be viable with a nerf. Because maybe that build was so astronomically good that taking it down like 2 percentage points isn't enough to incentivize me to move to something else. And I would know that if I actually could crunch the numbers and see it and say, oh, well, even though the auto attacks are being downgraded from 100 to 97, that doesn't really change the usefulness of the character. It just means that it's slightly less effective. But it still takes maybe one less auto attack to take down an enemy, but that's still faster than the comparable character I could take instead. So Cinderace would still be usable if that was the case, because Cinderace is still usable and better than all his its peers, because its auto attacks still do more than the others and his kit is just better. So when you say nerf, you need to be descriptive, because a nerf doesn't mean it's unusable. And I mean, like, I can go in and test it, but you can also type an extra sentence saying that. So it's like, come on. Whoever wrote these patch notes, somebody needs to come in and do it, like, do a different. They need to do the next one that actually knows how to write patch notes for a competitive game, because this kind of thing works for like a single player game. Like this would be fine. I wouldn't care, but it's not. It's a MOBA that people try to be good at. According to what I've seen, people are trying to be good at it. You can't just say you can't just go effects on opposing Pokemon strengthened. What effects? Like the burn effect or something? Okay, well, what's the strengthening of it? Does it deal an extra point of damage per second, or does it equal maybe 10? That one's more significant than the other. Say that. It's not hard. It really isn't. So whoever wrote these patch notes, you didn't do a good job. Try again. Your effort was pitiful, in my opinion.
What?
Oh, my camera just turned off. I don't know.
Nice.
My camera just turned off, and I actually have no explanation for it. It appears I've been hacked by Tencent. I've angered them, and
They didn't like your comments.
I don't even know what happened.
And now I've become auto.
How does this even work? Like, what the heck? I like had the camera on, and it just, like, I looked at it, and it just immediately turned off, and it's plugged into the back of my computer. So I'll be right back while I figure out what the heck just happened.
Okay. Is this patch out already? Have you guys tested it yet? To see what it's like? Has anything actually changed from what you've seen? Or is this Oh, today. It comes out today. Yeah, no. He's behind the PC. I'm talking to chat. Okay, so this patch isn't out yet, so we don't know how significant some of these changes are going to be. There, it's coming back. There it is.
I can't tell you what happened. It was plugged in. I don't know what to tell you.
I do. Yeah, you got hacked by Tencent. Megan wants to know what that EV behind you is, by the way.
What? This? It's a binder. So it's just a binder. It's just got my Pokemon cards that I don't sell. So I've got a bunch of like, you probably can't see all of it because of the camera, but like there's a bunch of cards in there. Anything I don't sell goes in there. So, and I found it at a store, and it was really I like Eevee, so it's a cool binder. And the other binder behind it is Charizard. That's where I put a bunch of like reverse hollows and hollows.
Hmm.
And then behind it, there's a bunch of trainer cards in a display case.
Yep.
So, any good hauls lately? Oh, I'm sorry. Spoon. Any other thoughts regarding Pokemon Unite's stellar patch notes that they put lots of effort into, and I really appreciate the comprehensive nature and descriptions of all of the ability changes.
Yeah, I mean, I was asking chat while you were fixing stuff. Apparently, this patch isn't out yet, so we don't know what the changes are yet. So maybe we'll talk about it another time when we actually know how
Sure.
significant the changes are, because the patch notes sure don't tell us that.
Yeah.
But generally, I like where they were going with the idea of some of these changes. Like they're nerfing some of the really strong Pokemon, and they're buffing some of the weaker ones. So
Mm,
like they're on the right track at least. But again, we just
sure.
don't know how significant the changes are gonna
Sure.
be.
Yeah. In all seriousness, at least they are making changes. And they made them,
Now,
I would say, pretty quickly. I would say that's a
now if
pretty
they
quick change.
Now, if they would just add a damn scoreboard to the game.
Oh no. No, we don't need that. They tell you in game. They say you're in a huge lead. Not great. Do you think Tencent and do you think they know what a number is? Do you think I should tell them what a number is? Do you think there's like a feedback button on here I can give feedback and say, "Hi, I'd like to describe you what an integer is. Here's a Wikipedia article about integers." See, integers, they're these numbers, and they're of a fixed range and type, so they can be negative, they could be 0 or 1, or a million. Isn't that exciting? Oh, look, I've noticed you're using integers for the date. Then you know what you're doing. Great. We can build off that. We can build off that.
I mean, there was a survey form like a week. No, it
I
was
missed
like a
out.
week ago.
I missed
Yeah,
out. I actually love survey forms now. I got one from Twitch. I ignored it, but I should fill it out. I love survey forms now.
you
Bec-
just do you actually give them legitimate feedback, or are you
I
just a snark? Are you just a
I
snarky asshole?
I do, but in my tone. So like in
Yeah,
the tone I
in
would
your
give.
tone. Yeah,
So like if I were to give feedback to like, hey, can we give some feedback? I'd be like, okay, let's talk about your patch notes. Number one, they were bad. They were just bad. Number two, you should probably get a new person to do it and teach them what a number is, possibly what a percentage is as well. And three, like, can you actually just give a shit to the people that read these? People read these and actually like want to formulate their plans for which characters are going to play. They're like, oh, look at these patch notes. These characters look
yeah,
viable
and
now, and
you're killing the YouTube content creators who want to do patch note review videos and stuff like that because they can't review the patch because they don't know what the shit
yeah,
is
they're just like,
doing.
I
They're
don't know
like,
what the fuck that means. I mean, they'll review it anyway, of course, but you just like to people like I used to read through the HOTS patch notes fairly extensively, not like line to line, but I'd look through it and I would look at the percentages and go, oh wow, like Stitches got a health buff. Holy crap, he got like an extra 100 health, which is a big deal. And they showed it because you can actually do the math on the health scaling. because health scales a certain way for tanks. In HOTS, it's certain percentage points up every level. So by getting 100 extra health, you can actually do the scaling on your own. And like Grubby and people like that would actually do that. They would figure out the scaling of all those things and like attack damage too. So it's like kind of a nice thing to have that, so you can start doing theory crafting of like, oh wow, this character got an attack buff, they're probably going to be usable now, and then you'd go test it. But it just like sucks that all we get is effects on opposing Pokemon strengthened. To what degree? That's all. That's all I want personally. I just want to know with a number.
Yep.
And not just like a word. That's all I wanted. So, but I can't have nice things anymore. I just can't.
I mean, it's Pokemon Unite. It's 10 cent. It's pretty low effort. We kind of know that.
But it shouldn't be. Like, it shouldn't be. Here's the thing, though. It shouldn't be low effort. If anything Pokemon should be of the highest effort of anything on in the world, because Pokemon makes more money than anything. So like, it's not like you don't have the resources to just like go, well, we only have $50, so guess we're gonna have to head on Fiverr and have somebody do our patch notes for about $10. That's not the case. Like, Pokemon could hire anybody tomorrow and be like, oh, how much do you need in salary? $1 billion? Yeah, sure, why not? They could do that. I'm sure they could. They won't, but they could. They're just like they're swimming it. They got Scrooge McDuck money. They're just swimming in it. They're just hanging out, swimming in it. And they could put effort into it, is the thing. And like, they consistently don't, and it kind of pisses me off now. The only thing I've actually seen of Pokemon lately that they put effort in is the fucking cards. The art usually looks good. And like, it looks like I like the cards. They put some interesting effort into the cards for me. But Pokemon Unite, like, not having a scoreboard, come on. You could have done that.
Yeah. When I did fill out the survey, by the way.
Good.
And I said a lot of stuff, but the first thing that I said, and when we got to actually type stuff in, was I said it is asinine that in a competitive game, you can't see the scoreboard during the game.
It's crazy.
Imagine in a competitive sport like baseball or soccer or basketball if you couldn't see the scoreboard during the game. Just imagine that you couldn't see the fucking scoreboard.
It's called fucking pickup, and even in pickup we call the score, and we keep track of it on our own. We keep track of it, but like, it's pickup. Like, who fucking cares? Imagine playing a game like it's a card game. Imagine playing Hearthstone, okay, and you couldn't see anybody's health pool, and you're just like, well, I got hit for a lot. I don't remember how much health I gained recently, but sure, maybe 30 is enough. And like, yeah, and like, Hearthstone's a highly, mathematical game when you break it down. Lots of interesting numbers and trying to quickly compute probability and go, okay, maybe this will work. Imagine you couldn't see health pools for a Hearthstone. Like, you couldn't see anybody's health. And Warrior can just like stack on armor. Imagine you couldn't see how much armor they had, but they had armor. It's just like, and like, every so often you'd get like, Warrior has a lot of health. Mage doesn't have much health. It's like, thanks.
Not looking good. It's not looking good.
Not looking good for you, Warlock. Thanks, asshole. Thanks for telling me. You could have just put a number there. But no, you gotta tell me, wow, we're really getting smacked out there. Thanks.
Yeah, imagine in like an NBA basketball game that it's like,
oh, that'd be terrible.
And every 2 minutes there's a guy that goes like, the Cavaliers are really struggling.
Like, every game would essentially be, for me, because I watch Timberwolves, every game would be like, Wolves are getting railed again. That's what every game would be. Every game would just be like, getting railed. Yeah, no shit, I am.
Lakers are dominating.
It's like every once in like a full moon, you get, wait, we're winning. we're winning.
It's a close game.
It's just like, that's not how it should work at all. It's just not like it's not how it should work. You can't have that. It needs to be better, and it could be better, and it wouldn't actually be that hard to make it better. You could do it too. Like there's like a map that you can click to open up a map. The map could
They
have the
track.
score.
I mean, I'm sure they track the score in
They
the
do.
background.
Of
All
course
they
they
have to
do.
do is freaking display it. Like, just display the goddamn
It's not like
scoreboard on
just
the screen.
I don't know. Like there's a button that you can make the map appear. Like why not have the map show it when you make it appear? Like you can press a button. Why not? I feel like that's a perfectly reasonable thing to add. I don't know. I'm sure there's somebody out there that's like, well, it's not that bad. I mean, come on now. They tell you. Like, okay, great. Why should we be satisfied with it's just barely enough? I expect just barely enough from like the random person making an indie game, and even then, they would put more effort into it. Like in some areas, I just yeah, I think there's no reason it shouldn't. But anyway, what a game Pokemon Unite is. What a game.
Yeah.
Pretty fun. You know.
Again, I think it's fun, but I wish it was. I just wish. I mean, I wish it. I just wish it was better, right? I wish
I
they put a
yeah.
little more effort to it, and I wish and it was better.
It's
But
but yeah
it's still
yeah.
fun. Like it is a fun game, but
It's got
it
a lot
could
of
be
positive.
it could be a lot better.
Yeah,
Like it
sure,
has a lot of. I think it has a lot of potential as well, and it
sure.
could be a lot better if they just tried a little harder.
I agree. I I think for a Switch MOBA, it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. I stand by saying this is the worst MOBA I've ever played. But at least like there's no like voice chat in the game or like you can't all
Oh yeah.
chat. That would be terrible. I feel like this game's all chat would be really bad too.
Every
Even with the
every
kids,
MOBA's like all chat is for
really bad
almost exclusively for like flaming and taunting,
for
basically. So
flexing.
yeah,
It's so a silver player can flex to me and be like, "Huh, did you say you made triple kill?" It's like, good job, you did it, congrats. And I love that kind of stuff too. I love that stuff. I love in HOTS in particular. My all-time favorite was still, how in HOTS, for those of you that um, didn't play it, there's like walls, and there are walls that like are next to towers, and these walls are destructible, but walls also provide vision, so it's actually beneficial to have walls up for you for your walls because you can actually see other characters still, and you can see minion waves coming in, so you can kind of like use that to your advantage. It's good vision. And like most people on lower levels ignore it. So I was in a game with some low levels, and one person in chat, I was killing a wall. They're like, "What are you doing? You're wasting your time. What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm trying to kill this wall." I was like, "It's a waste of time." And I think I've said this before, but like, you ever have that moment where like, it's like a snobby kind of moment for me, where you're like, "Look, listen to me very carefully. I'm here. You're here. What's a higher probability? I'm right or you're right? Which is the higher probability?" And you being right is not the correct answer. He's like, so if I want to kill the wall because it's providing vision to somebody so they can't get as much information, that's probably the right thing to do. There's nothing else to do on the map, so yeah, I'm gonna kill the wall. But
and it does not take very long
it
to
is.
kill the wall.
It's 100% that I know better than you right now. And I'm sorry that I have to say it to your face like this, but I am better than you right now. You need to recognize that because I would recognize it from the other side. 100% I recognize it every damn time.
Hey kid, shut up and listen to me for a second. I know what
It,
I'm talking about.
100% I get it. Like when I used to boot up League, I knew almost everybody was better than me. And I knew that. So like I didn't get any hard feelings when I lose, but like with League though, there's only so many times you can be called a retard when it kind of gets to you. And by the way, it's more than once.
They're gonna fuck your mother.
Yeah, I had, like literally I had like a couple people say that, and I was very open about being not very good. I was like, hey, I'm not very good, but I'm figuring this game out, just trying to figure things out. And yeah, I blew into like most recently when I played, I tried to play again, and I didn't hate it as much as I originally did. But yeah, like one of the games, I had some probably like a 13-year-old who you know probably just hit puberty and just discovered some things, and they're like, you're all retarded. It's like, great, kid, good job. Did you just figure that word out in the book, like in a book? Like, what are you doing?
You hear it from the cool kids at
I
school.
know. And then sometimes, like, I would once in a while have people whisper me. They're like, wow, you're fucking terrible. Do you have a mental illness? I'm like, Jesus Christ, kid. Jesus Christ, man. Oh my God. It's just like, oh man, that would immediately stop that conversation. No, because somebody weird would actually take it the step further, and
Yeah, probably.
they probably would. They'd probably be like, "I did it anyway," because I expect a league person to do that. Like most normal people, I would fully expect that would have been diffused, immediately diffused. Like, oh shit, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm being an asshole right now. You know, I think I think I took it a step too far. But then there's like some of the league folks, and they're just like, what'd you say? And you say like, oh well, my mom's in the morgue. You know, she passed away. And then they say something like disgustingly weird, and you're like, yeah, that's gonna be a week off from league. Yeah, there's only so much of league I could ever take. So, Hots was sometimes like that. Hots was great when people were toxic. Hots was great. It was funny. And then ooh, that's don't feel bad actually, Megan. I just want to say this by the way. Don't feel bad with Kate. Like Kate really likes my mom, and my mom really likes Kate. You know, sometimes they just go off and have some fun. Like it happens. But for me, see, the thing is, don't tell Kate. But it's kind of nice because they'll like have a conversation and they'll talk and she'll like kind of vent about work and things like that. And I'm like, shit. I think I just bought myself an hour to play a game. I think I just bought myself some time here.
Yep.
And then I immediately like I'll do it too. I'll like look at them and I'll go, coast is clear, and I'll start walking. And I'll get on my computer. And I'll get on my computer and I'll start playing. And then like an hour later, I'll be okay. Come in. I'll go. Okay, I have my hour. I had my hour of individual gaming time.
Yep.
Don't tell Kate I said that. By the way, I'll be in a lot of trouble if she figured out I said that. If she ever figured out I said that, I'd probably be in trouble.
Kate, go talk to Otto's mom more. He wants more gaming.
Dude, I'm just saying, like, you ever come on? I'm very honest about this stuff. Like, of course,
I'm pulling your leg.
I know, of course, the thought, of course, crosses my mind, and I'm just like, oh wait, they're talking, and I like rush in and like, okay, I got a minute. I can go play like Fortnite or Destiny 2 or anything for an hour, and then that's my hour. Yeah, I got Legos from Winnie the Pooh for Kate. She likes Winnie the Pooh Legos.
Hmm.
Anyway, okay. Well, uh, I mean, Halo Infinite had a tech
Tech alpha.
alpha, yeah.
Tech alpha. Tech. Yeah, something.
They had a tech alpha.
Last weekend.
I watched some streams of it, and they didn't have the grappling hook available. There was no grappling hook available. That was mentioned. I think there were some issues getting into games, from what I saw from some streamers, but it looked like Halo. I mean, that's all I have to say. It just looks like Halo. So
It's like Halo. The time to kill looks a little shorter
mhm.
than it has been. Again, I haven't played Halo in a while, so maybe I'm wrong, but it seemed like people's shields were going down a little faster than I was used to.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
it was there weren't a lot of people in it, I don't think,
No.
and for most of it, I don't know if they said eventually they might get to actual 4v4 matches, but for most of it, you could only play against bots. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Again, that from what I saw, that looked to be the case. Yeah, I think time to kill in Halo, depending on how you do the combos. Like if you actually get a successful grenade off, you can just do a single BR shot to the head, and that's it. Um, but if you're not doing that, I think it's like 3 BR bursts to kill if you're making good shots. Um, and that's like outside of snipers and things like that. That's like the fastest.
Yeah, what I meant though is that like I'm not talking about like combos, but just like
Yeah,
taking kind of like a normal gun like a
yeah,
BR or an assault rifle or something like that and just like full autoing it or firing it as fast as you
Yeah,
can at somebody seemed to kill people faster than I
yeah,
was, used to basically.
yeah,
So,
I would agree. Yeah, I would agree. It was faster. This game also will have tons of customization, monetization options.
oh yeah,
There are several screens where they zoom in to individual characters to see them. There's going to be emotes. You can bet your ass emotes will exist. Customization options will exist, and they will be paid for. You can bet there's going to be stuff. I can already see it, and I can already see where somebody tactically went in, who's thinking about the numbers and went, "What if they went and zoomed in at the beginning screen or the end screen of the character so we could see all the costume?" Somebody like carefully went in and said that that has to happen so that we can monetize that. Very carefully went in. You can tell where things are going to get monetized. I didn't
yep.
see. I think didn't Halo used to have like, I don't want to say finishers, but they used to have like, didn't they have something relatively close to finishers?
They had
Yeah,
assassinations.
assassinations. Thank you. I wonder if they're going to do that again.
They
I'm
said at least on they did have an interview before the thing came out. They said that they're not going to have assassinations on release
okay.
at least,
Okay.
but
Then
it's something they're thinking about down
yeah,
the line. But we'll
I
see.
yeah, I kind of liked it. Like Destiny 2 has finishers, and I kind of like it. You can
I
have like
mean,
various
they're
finishers.
cool in Halo, but sometimes like you would do it. Sometimes you would want to just like do the quick like back hit to kill somebody, but you do an assassination and it would get you killed
Yeah,
because you're
sure.
stuck in this animation for like 3 seconds and then someone comes
Yeah,
up behind you and kills you.
yeah.
So
But it was kind of, I don't know. I still like doing it. I still like doing it.
yeah, no, I
Maybe
mean
if it's
it's
like an
cool.
activated thing, and you can either do the normal or you can actually activate the assassination. I would like that.
Or I feel like if they have a ranked system, like assassination shouldn't be a thing in
No,
ranked. It's just like
no,
no,
of course not.
that's dumb. Like
I hope, I hope to God and everything that's holy out there, anybody that you worship, I hope there's like a huge, massive like mode, like just like massive groups of Spartans. There was like a couple modes that I actually liked in past Halos. Speaking of past Halos, by the way, we do you have, you don't have your Game Pass because you have PC and you have Switch, but
I mean, I'm
it,
pretty sure all the Halo games are on PC now, aren't they?
yeah,
And
they
they're on
are.
Game
I'm
Pass.
I'm
So
wondering if you
yeah,
could boot it up from your PC through Game Pass. Do you still have Game Pass, or did you cancel it because you knew you were coming here?
I I haven't had Game Pass in a bit, but
Okay,
I'll.
I thought you did.
I mean, I probably will get it again at some point, like for like when Halo comes
Yeah,
out. Well, Halo multiplayer is gonna be free anyways,
yeah.
but
I was thinking like before Halo's coming out in the next couple months. Obviously, we hop on and play some old Halos because all the Master Chief Collection exists. Um, I mean, like we could play Halo 5. Actually I think Halo 5 is gonna have a ton of players. Like a month or two before Halo Infinite releases. I imagine that
maybe
that game will have a ton of people in it. I kind of want to play some of the old ones because there were a couple game modes in some of the old ones that were a bit more objective based that were really fun. Not capture the flag. There were like various different objectives. I really liked them. They were like lots of lots of people going to the game. It wasn't just like team deathmatch. Halo's had some pretty cool game modes. Not always the case, and I hope kill streaks won't be coming back. Thank God. Halo kill streaks was really really bad. I hated that.
they
Um,
only tried it. They only had it in
four,
four and
yeah,
5. They took them out
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, let's keep that out. That was not a good idea. Um, but yeah, I personally I really am excited. I do want to get Halo back and playing. I probably will play like I still have 5, but I think 5 is on Game Pass. I would say yes. And
it probably
Master
is.
Chief, yeah. I kind of want to boot up 5, give it a try again. It's been such a long time though.
Don't play the campaign again. That was dog shit.
Oh God, I hope somebody else came in and like actually directed the campaign, not 343. I hope they brought somebody else in and say, "Hey, can you do the campaign for us? We're not very good at it. We're not very good. You can't have Warden Eternal again like 10 times. You can't do that. That's like just lazy. You need something else." Which sucks too cuz you could do something else with Halo. You could do almost anything with Halo. It's like Destiny. You can do literally anything with Destiny. You can do anything. You could have any type of boss, you really, and it would be fine
Yeah,
because it's
it's
Destiny.
sci-fi.
It's
It's
sci-fi.
sci-fi.
You
Just
can you,
make shit up.
you can do anything. I mean, like obviously they're going to stick to their lore that I don't know anything about, but you can do anything, and Halo can do the same thing. You can do anything, and they chose Warden Eternal like 50 times. I'm exaggerating, but like really, it was too many times. So
He was the only boss in the entire game, and you fought him like I want to say like 3 or 4 times, maybe 5
it
tops.
was
I don't
dumb. Yeah, it
remember,
was really
but
dumb.
he was the only boss in the entire game.
It was dumb. I remember
And
we were not happy.
the marketing for that game,
Oh my
Master Chief,
god!
Master Chief
Oh.
versus I don't even remember the guy's
Was it
name.
Locke? Was it Locke?
Oh, Locke. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's it.
It
That was
was.
such bullshit. Like
Oh
that
my
marketing
god.
was such bullshit, dude.
It was
Like
so bad. It was really bad. Yeah, it was really bad. Like, one will hunt the other. Get in game. One punches the other. Okay, that's it. We're done.
we're friends now. Cool.
You're like, what the shit is this?
Yeah.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah, they blew that one
Right.
a little out of proportion
It was
in the ads.
it was good advertising though.
It was
Holy
good
shit.
advertising, but when you played the game, it was like, come on, man.
You play the game, you're like, the fuck was that? Hunt my ass? What is that? He just like punched him once. That was it. I don't know. That game started like that game was like, did you read the books? No. I didn't read the books. Was I supposed to? Yeah, you're supposed to read this book, this book, this book. Oh well,
I,
shit.
I used to care about the lore of like Halo and the story up through like 3. I never really
3.
read the books,
I
but
think you need to read the books now to really get it.
yeah, with 4 and like they lost me with 4 and 5. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah, I just was like, I don't know what's going on. What's happening? Why Cortana's evil now? Okay. Well, okay. Oh, I don't know. I have no clue. I'm sure somebody out there could sit down and explain it to me, but it wouldn't work. Done that for Destiny. It's not. It doesn't work. All right, Spoon. Any other stuff?
Um, I mean, yeah, I started Neo: The World Ends with You, but I've only played it for a couple of hours, so I don't really have much to say about it.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, only thing I've done. I told you earlier, but for the record, the only things I've been doing are honestly like Destiny 2 has been what I've been doing. I've been playing a lot of it.
yeah.
Just a lot. So that I can catch up to other people. Other than that, not much. Really.
Oh, and I got the platinum trophy in Scarlet Nexus at the end of last week
Nice.
before I left.
Nice.
So, yeah, finished
Nice.
Kasane's story. Did the grinding, finished Kasane's story. Oh yeah, you were there when I did some of the grinding.
Yeah, you're doing some of the grinding. You had a
That
good
was
system. Wish it
yeah,
wasn't the thing, but you had a good system. I applauded you for a good system of using the exploders. It was a smart system.
yeah. Those guys give a holy hell ton of experience.
Was there any additional stuff after beating Kasane's storyline? Did they have like another
No,
epilogue? Okay.
there was no epilogue.
Yeah.
Though, yeah, after you beat the second story, you get the option. Apparently, if you load into your clear file, you can like swap to the other protagonist.
Oh, you can start swapping?
Yeah, you can swap.
Okay. I don't know.
You can't like play from the beginning, I don't think, but if you wanted to like
But you can just
do
start doing stuff and swapping.
different side quests, and also like it's a thing where like if you missed like some if you I think it's more of a thing for like getting trophies basically because like
Bond
if you miss like
episodes, things like that.
Bond episodes or like a gift on either side that you
Yeah.
could like could get the gift and
Yeah.
give it to the person so you can get the trophy
Yeah.
for giving all the gifts to all the characters because
Makes
there's a
sense.
trophy for that.
Yeah, makes
So
sense. That
um,
makes a lot of sense.
so they're like, oh, I missed one gift in Yuito's story. Now I gotta go replay all of Yuito's story to get one gift. That would be pretty
Yeah, that would
stupid.
have sucked.
Like,
That would have sucked. I would not have been on board with that for sure. Um, okay. Yeah, at some point, next week is my final exam. So at some point, uh, after that, I have to travel for family stuff, and then once I get back, I'm free to do all sorts of things with no school or anything, no work currently. Um, Actually, work is something I got to figure out because I'm not doing TA work next semester, so I have no idea if I'm doing outside work besides school. I would like to, but I got to figure that out too because I don't want to do TA work for the school this next semester. Um, yeah, just need a break from it. TA work for for the school, it's been good, but there are definitely times where I'm like, okay, I kind of want to just like not do anything for a bit.
I really don't want
Regarding
to
that,
grade. Like, I really don't want to grade all this homework.
like the grading, depending on your class, it's not that bad because there's actually pretty good testing you can do for for programming. So like you could theoretically have like a test thing set up and you could just like laser through it. But it's really not that simple because the students don't always do the same code. So
Yeah.
and students don't always have the same file names. So it doesn't work out so well actually.
Yeah.
But for some things you can do like proper grading, like the Python course I TA'd, grading was really easy. All I had to do, I only had to grade like 5 or 6 students, and I had a test file that I would run every time I graded. It would take me, honest to God, like 10 minutes to grade. It was not hard. But this class, I've had to the grading I have had to do. It takes like a full week to grade all the assignments because of the way I have to do it. Um, so, but yeah, I'm happy. I can't wait to be done. I'm ready.
Yep. You need a break.
It's just like it's just a lot. It's just a lot of
You
stuff.
have well, you're gonna have like what 3 or 4 weeks off before you have to go back, something like that.
Yeah. Um yeah, I'll have like about 3 to 4 weeks with some travel in between there to go camping.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And your final exam is next Wednesday,
next
correct?
Wednesday. Next Wednesday. Work for Lowe's. I don't know. My preference for work, to be honest, is to do my old boot camp to work for them. That would be my preference actually, but they don't respond to me. I've actually emailed the person that's in charge of hiring, and I haven't heard from them in a while. That would be like my best case. For Ho Depot, nice. I don't know what my other options are. I'll have to figure that out. Will pay an exposure to my 20 followers. Oh shit, that's pretty
Damn.
lucrative.
What an offer.
You know, I could use. You know, we could use followers.
We could use some followers.
We could use 20.
We really could use 20.
The numbers they're adding up. Those numbers are looking good. Um. So anyway, Spoon. Oh no. Oh no 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 no. Not OnlyFans.
No. That's
Only
not happening.
I read an article. OnlyFans wants to get away from pornographic content, and I laughed
Whoa.
hysterically.
Omega. Whoa.
And you know why? It's so they can get a better valuation, so they can get more money, and also, yeah, because OnlyFans, I think the issue is they don't think they can grow any further with having pornographic content on their platform. So they want to get pornographic content off the platform. They're fine with like people doing like non-nudity, right? They're doing all that stuff because they want to be more than just nudes. Because the problem is if they stick in just the if they have the pornographic content and they stay there, I think it could cause them problems for their
Yeah,
valuations.
there's a lot of advertisers who just like won't advertise on the site because they
Correct.
have like nudity and pornographic
But
content. So yeah.
all their money comes from the subscribers anyway, all the people that subscribe. But still, yeah, I think they just don't want pornography on the platform. I think they don't want to just do that. And I do think they want to be more than just nudes, which I think is a hard sell considering what they do.
Considering that's what the platform
Yeah,
is.
that's
For
literally
the
what the
most
platform
part.
is. That's literally what the platform is. I mean, it's not like a platform can't deviate from what its core identity is and add things. But I don't know. I don't know what they would deviate into, but
But
yeah,
if
I laughed when I saw that from
not
OnlyFans.
deviate, there's like saying like our whole or like 90 to 95%, maybe even more of like our entire site is that thing, and we're gonna say nope, we're not doing that thing anymore. What I feel like they're gonna lose a lot of subscribers. They're gonna lose creators. Like I don't know. Like
I think I don't know. It depends on what they're trying to do. I don't. I really can't tell you. You know what they should do? They should be a streaming platform too. They should do streaming.
don't they already do? Okay,
I
I
don't think they
guess
do streaming. I think they do video, but not streaming.
oh, just video.
I think they should do streaming. I think that's the component. That's the component. Streaming. That way you can be nude in the hot tub
Yep.
and nobody cares. Nobody on the platform would care. Twitch cares, but nobody on that other platform would care. Full circle. We'd go full circle. You'd immediately you're back to cam girls. That's I mean that's an option. Just saying it's an option. I don't know what they do beyond that though. Like you can't you can't just be like you can't just be like Instagram for nudes or anything like that. I don't see it. I mean Instagram already has that stuff, but not nudes. But Instagram already has Instagram models like doing their thing. Um, I just don't know where OnlyFans goes from here. I really don't. But they just want that sweet, sweet money, and they need more of it. Need more of that cash.
I mean, yeah, it's a growing platform, and they want to grow more. If they think they're stagnating, then they need to change something. So
I need to figure something
yeah, I
out.
don't know what they're gonna do.
But that's tough. Um, any other stuff, Spoon?
I do not have. The only other thing
Go ahead.
we have in our doc, we just didn't mention it. The Kenna Bridge of Spirits was delayed into
Yeah,
September. That
yeah.
was the thing.
The indie game coming out for PS5 and it's coming out for PC as well on the Epic Game Store. I don't think it's coming out on Steam. I think it is Epic exclusive on PC. Again, look cool. We thought it looked cool.
Mm-hmm.
So that game delayed. Okay, whatever. I don't, it happens. It's understandable as long as good things come from it. It's fine. Okay.
Yeah. Other than that, I think, as we said, we're didn't have as much to talk about this week, so I think we're gonna call it a bit of a shorter episode today.
Yep. Uh, we didn't do the intro today, so I'm gonna do it now. Be sure to support us, check out our stuff, but more importantly, share with a friend. Share with a
Yep.
friend. We're a lot like Epic and Fortnite. Just add a friend. We're gonna keep asking you to add a friend. Invite a
Yep.
friend. That's it. Invite a friend.
Invite a friend
Invite a
to
friend.
watch and follow the podcast channel and subscribe to the YouTube.
Exactly. Just invite a friend. That simple. And if your
The
friend
other
says
thing
no, they say no. Well, go
the
ahead.
other thing I'll actually mention in terms of the intro or the um I don't know what to say.
Whatever it is, go ahead.
Yeah, basically the podcast episodes up on YouTube have been getting very. I mean, I know we were kind of behind, so maybe people don't want to go back, but we'd really appreciate it if you guys go at least click on the video and like it because the last like couple that I uploaded, at least the last time I checked over the past like week, have like very very low view count compared to the others.
Yeah, let me take a look too. No, I didn't even think of it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, invite a friend and please go check out those videos because Spoon, I asked Spoon to do that. Spoon was gracious enough to do it. So, yeah, please do that. We'd appreciate it. We do appreciate that stuff, really. We know we don't get much, but what we get, we like to see.
Yep.
I'm looking at some of the older stuff too. Yeah, so at some point, besides podcast episodes, the D&D episode that we had on Saturday, that'll go up this week. I'm hopeful tomorrow because I'll actually have some time to sit down tomorrow and really laser in on that. The D&D episodes were short but fun. It was really really enjoyable. we basically did some traveling and random encounters, but it was fun. I mean, the sessions are always fun for people that aren't like checking those out and don't know. Those are fun sessions. They're enjoyable. We The group was pretty active, I would say, last time as well. I think we got a lot of different voices, and I think we really enjoyed it. Spoon, you weren't there obviously, but it was a good time. I tried to play your character admirably, but I can't do the same role play. Mostly, I can only do vicious mockery
Hmm.
and possibly attack with a crossbow. So yeah, if you guys haven't checked that out, you should. They're fun. They're really really fun, and I'm not just saying that because I'm the DM. The the guys are all funny. They're funny as a group. We do have a good time. So please be sure to support all that stuff and take a look at the YouTube, and why don't I go ahead and speed run you there? So that's the link for it. Okay. Well, thanks Spoon for highlighting that because I haven't been taking a look at that. So
Yeah. And the other thing that we should probably mention is since you have your
correct.
final exam and your family situation next week, we are not going to have a podcast episode next week. Otto is going to be a little too busy.
Yeah. My grandmother passed away about a month ago, and we are having the funeral next week. So I am
Hmm.
flying to Wisconsin. Good old
Yep,
Wisconsin. I'm back to the Midwest, baby.
back to the
It's
Midwest.
it's been a hot minute. It's been a hot minute.
Yep,
Yeah.
and I'm sure everyone sends their condolences.
Yeah. She was having, she was having a hard time in the end. So the best thing I can say is that I think she passed away peacefully, which I think honestly, if that's the way I'm going, I want to go peacefully.
Yeah, for sure.
Or attacked by a whale. I feel it will be back to full circle for me if that's my death.
Yeah, I mean,
If that's my death, I'm satisfied.
if you're crushed by a whale,
If I'm crushed by a whale, I will walk through the gates of hell with a smile on my face, and I'll be like, "Fuck all of you. I've died the way I wanted to," and they'll all welcome me. I'll be welcomed amongst my own. So that's my hope. Peacefully or whale crush. Whale crush would be interesting. What happened? You got crushed by a whale. Oh, how tragic. And I'm just there like, nah, I'm good. It was great. It was a good time. It was how I wanted it. So,
hmm
okay. Well, thanks everybody for watching. And
yeah,
next week we're not going to be here. I've been trying to piece together a possible stream for the podcast channel, and I'm going to try to hold myself to that. Um, I will post through the Twitter of the podcast as well as the Discord. More than likely, there are two options: Xenoblade, Mass Effect.
yep.
If somebody has a burning desire on one of those that isn't named SPT Spoon, because I know his answer.
Or HC Ghost
Yeah, Ghost. I
probably
know Ghost
because
answer too, but sure.
yeah,
Feel free to mention. I know some people
yeah,
don't. Mass Effect's kind of like at this point, most people either know the ending or aren't interested, but the game's still enjoyable for me. I like it. So if you're interested in that, let me know. I will stream that to the podcast channel at some point. And
yep, yep.
um, go
And we'll
ahead.
see everybody in 2 weeks. I mean, it'll be 2 weeks worth of like game news and stuff to talk about,
Yes.
and Humankind is coming out the day before that, so we'll
Yeah.
probably have to play some of that, and talk about that some. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Thanks everybody. Really, we appreciate it. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks for another podcast. Um, I don't even know what to say in the chat right now. And hopefully we'll get a stream from me for Xenoblade or Mass Effect this end of week or weekend, depending on how my studying goes. So, see you guys.
good night, everybody.